What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk to you about the new California Real ID. What does that mean? Well, let's tell you. So, October 1st, 2020, apparently you're not going to be able to enter any federal building, get on any domestic flights, anything like that, unless you have a Real ID. And basically what's different is the Real ID has a picture of the California bear, grizzly bear, up in the upper right-hand corner with a star in it. And if you don't get the Real ID, if you don't comply with that, what's going to happen is it's going to say federal limits apply, and we'll get to that in a second. But basically what we want to say is, to get the Real ID, what you have to do is you have to go into a DMV office here in California, and you have to take in your social security card, 2 proofs of residency, 2 pieces of mail basically saying, your address and stuff, which is kind of crazy because, it says on your driver's license.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand why you have to do that.
It seems like it's going to do everything, have the same benefits as just the driver's license you have now, but I don't know what the update is for, or things like that.
I was reading on the internet, basically it was saying that if you don't, we gotta start over, dude.
On my phone?
Yep.
Might have worked.
No, it didn't work.
We'll listen to it, see how good our voices are.
We'll just start over. There we are. We'll just start it out, edit out the video. Keep going. What's up, YouTube? So today we want to talk to you about the California Real ID and what that exactly means. So basically California is doing this whole new thing where you have to get what it is, basically a federal ID. Okay. So what you got to do to get this Real ID is you got to go into a DMV office, and you basically have to take in, your social security card, 2 forms of like mail showing your residency and stuff, which is kind of crazy because it says on your driver's license, your address. There's your proof right there. You got to go jump through hoops to get this Real ID. And some people may wonder, like, do I need this Real ID? And the answer to that is, unfortunately, you do. And the reason why is because October 1st, 2020, you're going to be required to get the Real ID in order to board a domestic flight, in order to, basically enter any federal building. You can't drive outside of California if you don't have the Real ID, because apparently out-of-state agencies are not required to accept your ID if it's not the Real ID. It doesn't have the picture of the bear in the upper right-hand corner with the star in the middle of it. And if you don't comply with the Real ID, what they're going to do is they're going to put federal restrictions apply on your driver's license. And if you get that, basically what happens is you're not able to buy ammunition. Out-of-state law enforcement agencies aren't required to accept your driver's license as a form of ID. It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot more hoops to jump through than normal.
Yeah, and all for what? Because they want to make it hard for you to buy ammunition. That's the skinny of it. They want to make it difficult for you to buy ammunition. They want to make it so that way people aren't buying as much ammunition, and they're doing a really good job at it, because I've had a few friends that have gone into places and tried to buy ammunition and were denied because they say you don't, when to run your name, you don't own this particular firearm, which should be against the law.
And I know it seems cliche to say that they're infringing on our constitutional right, but they are. It's plain and simple, they are, for the non-felon average citizen that has nothing to show why they shouldn't buy, have to jump through hoops for ammunition or any kind of firearm. And I get the waiting periods and I get the background checks, but it's the more we let it, the more things are going to be voted in that just don't make any sense. California is just going the wrong direction for laws.
Yeah, it's unreal. They basically, they're doing everything they can to make it so that way it's hard for you to buy guns, hard for you to buy ammunition. It's kind of like what they did with the AR-15s. Thinking that we'll make these featureless stocks and we'll take off the flash suppressor that, by the way, doesn't really work. I have AR-15s and you can shoot those, you can still see the flash, but technically they're illegal and I can't take them out of my house now, which is ridiculous. And It doesn't make any sense. You used to have to have a bullet button on an AR-15, and now you don't. You can, as long as you have the featureless stocks, you can have, you can have the normal magazine drop on those, and it's unreal.
Yeah, these laws being voted in aren't being voted by the people that know what should and shouldn't be.
No.
People making the laws and saying that we voted on them, they don't know what they're talking about. Clearly.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's much harder for me to imagine. I feel much safer now, don't you?
Yeah, huh?
Yeah. But it's crazy, and basically, we wanted this video today to talk about the California Real ID, talk about, a few laws and stuff, and, update you guys on what's going on. The whole ammunition background check thing is completely ridiculous, but we'll get to that in a different video.
Yeah, I knew a couple of you guys had some questions. Just try to answer them and make sense of what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
A lot of things change, and in the coming years, it's just going to become more and more severe.
Yeah. More difficult for us to buy ammo and guns and stuff like that, and we need to do some podcasts and really talk about this stuff so you guys can listen to this on the go. We're very firm believers in being able to own whatever guns you want. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty. Now with guns anymore, you're guilty until you're just guilty. I'd say until you're proven innocent, but that's not going to happen if you're a gun owner. If you're
guilty,
yeah. If you're a law-abiding citizen, a law-abiding gun owner that always follows the law like we do, we're the only people that are suffering here. We're the only people that are being impacted by this. Criminals aren't going to just be like, oh, well, I can't have that magazine drop, or I can't have a 30-round mag for my AR-15, so I guess I'll just not commit any crimes.
Yeah, they don't care when they're mugging you, and guns are illegal and outlawed everywhere. They don't care when you say, that's illegal. You can't have that.
Yeah, hold on. That's not a legal magazine right there. This isn't happening.
And it's like, it sounds like another cliche thing. I mean, all these cliches. The only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. I mean, that's true. The line is there's such a fine line. There's no in between. Either you know how to follow gun safety and just how to act with a gun, and you don't accidentally think it's okay to shoot somebody. Either you think it's okay to shoot somebody and be unsafe with these guns, or you don't. So, I mean, the majority of people should have pretty good access to guns in general.
In California, we got a message for you. There's already too many guns out there. You can't stop the bad guys. The only thing you're going to do is stop the good guys by trying to take guns away, trying to make them harder for the law-abiding people to get by and get this stuff to protect themselves and their families.
Absolutely. They don't understand. I mean, constitutional right. It's like you can say, well, maybe they didn't see guns being as,
like as advanced as they are, but you know what?
Absolutely.
The Constitution doesn't say that, if technology advances, then the laws are going to change. It never says that. The Constitution was put into act in order to protect people from tyranny and from stuff like what's going on right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Any kind of military standoff. And it's all relative. Yeah, I mean, guns have come a long way than when founding fathers made that in the Bill of Rights, but it's all relative.
And you get dirtbags like Rosie O'Donnell and Nancy Pelosi that think guns should be taken away from everybody. Well, guess what? Their bodyguards have guns. So why don't they make an example and have their bodyguards disarm themselves? You guys can have a pepper spray or a wiffle bat.
Absolutely. That's what I think.
Hope a 5-year-old attacks you.
Or back down. Make sure. Don't stand your ground.
Yeah.
People that are bodyguarding are these politicians that are making these laws against them.
Or these stupid gun-free zones that basically, we're gonna stop people from having guns. These gun-free zones because a bad guy is gonna go into a school and be like, oh, gun-free zone. Man, I didn't know. I'll leave.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
No chance.
Anyways, YouTube, if you like our stuff, like, subscribe, share our videos. We're gonna keep rolling with this stuff. We're gonna talk about current events. We're gonna do kind of a in a way daily grind kind of thing.
And like a vlog.
Yeah.
We used to do some vlogging.
Yeah. Talk about all sorts of cool stuff, and we'll talk about basically anything. There's any kind of requests you guys have for us to talk about stuff, like comment our videos. we want to hear your feedback. We want to know what you think of our videos and what you think we should talk about. We're gonna touch base on all sorts of cool stuff, and just stay tuned, YouTube.
Ooh.